So today's going to be a little bit different day. I thought you might enjoy joining me on not just what I eat in a day, but what I do in a full day. How do I fill up my day every day? So today I don't have the grandkids. Today I actually have a full day to do all the things I need to get done. So if you're interested, I thought you might enjoy just following me along. I'm here at the gym. I'm going to head in and get my workout done. Today I'm doing legs, and I'll probably do some photos or like film some real short clips just so you can see what exercises I'm doing today. So I'm here in the vegetable section of my grocery store. I just picked up a couple of things for dinner. I think I'm going to pick up some cabbage and just a couple other vegetables. So I just got back from the grocery store. I really only picked up a couple things for dinner. As I told you, I'm going to be shopping in the next day or two. So I'm also going to be working on my meal plan today, but I thought you might enjoy seeing what I picked up at the store. So I got some Oikos yogurt. I got some cottage cheese. I got some cabbage, some cilantro, a couple apples, and just some ground beef. And I'm going to be making egg roll in a bowl tonight. I'll give you the recipe for that in the description, but for now I'm going to get breakfast going. So this is my breakfast. I'm going to be having an Oikos 000 yogurt. They're really delicious. I'm having the vanilla. I'm going to have three. They're kind of like a fried poached egg, but I don't use any oil or anything. And then I am going to have a nice coffee with some frothed milk. And that is my breakfast. So I'm taking some time this morning to go through and plan out my week's meals. I'm actually starting with tomorrow, which will be Saturday. And that will really help me to get a good idea of what I'm having throughout the week and what I need to pick up at the grocery store either tomorrow or Sunday. So I kind of divide up my grocery list because I know how my store's laid out. So I do my fruits and vegetables first. Then I lay out like my meat and cheese section. Then I have an other section. And then I have my dairy at the very last because that's usually the last aisle I go down. So this helps me not only plan out my meals, but to make sure that I, am eating healthy, staying on my diet, but also that I'm not buying things that I don't need. Okay, I got my meal planner done. I've planned out all my meals for the next week starting tomorrow. And I've decided I'm actually going to do a separate video on doing these all as freezer meals. I'm going to try to get this video out on Sunday. It might be helpful to those of you that are really looking to do some serious meal prepping with me. So right now, this is my meal planner. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the refrigerator. And I think I'm actually going to start some of my shopping today. I need to go to a couple different stores. I'll save my main shopping, I think, for Sunday, but I'm off and on my way. So I am here at the grocery store, and I'm just going to be picking up some different items. I'm over in the fruits and vegetables section, and then I'll be heading over to get the rest of my groceries. So I just got back from the grocery store. I'm just going to show you what I bought, and I'm going to start putting dinner together a little bit early because I want to prep some of these other vegetables and things for tomorrow so that I don't have as much to do when I do my healthy meals, freezer meals for the week. So these are all the vegetables and meat and everything that I bought to do my healthy freezer meals for the week. And I got some ground turkey, some ground beef. This is actually a 3-pound container. I got some Italian sausages. I got some fruit and vegetables and all kinds of stuff. I actually have a bunch of stuff out that I put already in the freezer. Some frozen broccoli and cauliflower, but those will just be ready to put in our bag tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get dinner made for tonight, and then I'm going to start prepping. So tomorrow all I have to do is put everything together. So the first thing I want to do is start browning my ground beef for tonight and also for my taco soup, which is going to be for tomorrow night. It's a low-carb taco soup that I'm going to be making. So while our ground beef is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and start chopping up my peppers. I've already washed these peppers, and so all I want to do is chop them up. And these I'm going to be using for some of the meals that I have that I'm going to be prepping. Now, if you prefer to hand chop all this, you go ahead. I kind of just get it into small enough pieces that I can put this in my Vidalia onion chopper. Now I'm going to go ahead and start putting the peppers in this plastic bag because I'm going to be using these tomorrow. And I'm just going to save a ton of time by doing this ahead of time. Altogether, I'm using 6 peppers, and these were on sale, so I got the green peppers, and then I also got some red peppers. And my peppers are all prepped. I'm just going to stick them in the fridge. All right, I'm going to do the same thing with my onions. I just want to prep them so they're all chopped up. All right, I've got a little bit of carrot, and I've also got some cabbage. So I'm actually gonna add this whole cabbage to this recipe. I went ahead and moved this into a pot just so that I would have an easier time turning it. I'm gonna add about a cup of onions, and I'm gonna add a whole stalk of cilantro to this. Now you can put the cilantro in so it's more fresh. I actually want mine cooked in, so this is how I'm gonna do it. Next, I'm gonna add a little bit of soy sauce to this. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper. I also want to add a little powdered garlic. You use fresh garlic if you prefer. All right, and then we're just going to give that a nice stir. Stir all this up together. Look at how that cabbage cooks down. It's really unbelievable to me. So I don't like mine cooking down to a soup. This is actually exactly the way I want it. I want a little bit of crunch left in my cabbage. Just want to make sure all that ginger is stirred in. I am going to take this off the heat, let it cool, then I'm going to put it in another pan for tonight. I'm just going to finish with my onion, chopping up my onion, and then I'll be getting a bigger cutting board out, and I'm going to clean this up a little bit before I go any further, just to finish with chopping up my vegetables. And you'll see what I'm going to do. So before we get chopping the rest of our vegetables, I'm just going to put my egg roll in the bowl in this pan. And this will be all ready to heat up and serve in just a couple of hours. All right, I'm going to leave the lid off, but as soon as it cools down a little, I'll put the lid on it, put it in the refrigerator, and then I'm just going to heat it up for about a half an hour before I serve it. So the next thing I want to do is cut up my cauliflower and clean it really good. I usually cut it and then I clean it. That's why I've got the colander out here. And this is always a pretty easy job. I do get some cauliflower that's frozen just because sometimes that's just easier to make into things. But usually I buy my cauliflower and my broccoli fresh out of the refrigerated, fruits and vegetables section. So all I'm gonna do is just cut these into little florets. I like them kind of bite-sized pieces. So if I have really large ones, I cut those in half. All right, I'm gonna wash this cauliflower and then I'm gonna go ahead and put it in a container just as soon as it dries a little bit. My cauliflower is all cleaned and ready to go. I'm gonna put that in the refrigerator. I'm gonna do the same exact thing to the broccoli. So the very last thing I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna make some sweet potato fries. Now I'm not gonna cook them, I'm just gonna prep them and throw them in my freezer because one night this week we're gonna be having those with another meal. So you'll see this will make everything so easy. When it's time to make our sweet potato fries, we'll just take them out of the freezer, we'll throw them in the air fryer, and they are gonna be delicious. Now I just cut these into the size of fries that I want. And I think I'm gonna do this into thirds. It's really easy. Now, sweet potatoes aren't like other vegetables. You can just throw these in a bag and they're gonna freeze. They're not gonna stick together. A lot of other vegetables, you've gotta lay them out on trays and all that stuff. You don't have to do that with your sweet potatoes. So all I don't even have to label the bag because I can see these are sweet potatoes. So I'm gonna throw these in the freezer, and when I'm ready to make sweet potatoes, I'll have them. Now I took these little beef crumbles that were on the bottom of my pan from the egg roll in a bowl, and I just added some water. I'm going to add a little bit of this Better Than bouillon, and then I'm going to let that cool. Tomorrow that's going to be our beef broth that we're going to put into our taco soup. And there you go. After about 15 minutes, that's the broth I get. So I have got all of this done as much as I could do tonight. I am pooped. Anyway, my egg roll in the bowl is done. I'm going to eat a little bit early because I'm starving, and so let me show you how it came out. I just love the way this cabbage is cooked down. It's a lot of cabbage and a lot of flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and just give this a try for you. It is so delicious. Ooh, Look at that steam. Oh, that is so good. Oh, that is delicious. You've got to give it a try. So I think for now I'm done. I'm gonna do a little bit of paperwork tonight before I go to sleep. Tomorrow I'll be making a whole new video on putting together my healthy freezer meals from everything that I prepped today. So I hope that you'll join me. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And as we are trying to lose weight after the holidays, prepping and preparing and having things on hand is half the battle right there. So thanks for joining me. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. Give me a like, a thumbs up, or ring that bell for future notifications, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.